सिंधे मैम, क्या मीटिंग ये शुरू करना है क्या?
सर बोलेंगे, सर बोलेंगे।
अच्छा अच्छा, ओके ओके मैम।
5 minutes।
ओके, ठीक।
सिंधे मैम, बायोडा रीड कोणाकडे आहे? सिंधे, रोल नंबर
ओके सर, रोल नंबर 23 है सर मैम। जी
स्टार्ट कीजिए मैम।
जी जी सर। सभी को मेरा नमस्कार। यूजीसी मालवीय मिशन टीचर ट्रेनिंग सेंटर डॉक्टर बाबा साहब आम्बेडकर मराठवाड़ा यूनिवर्सिटी संभाजी नगर के डायरेक्टर
माझी काय करायचं?
प्रोफेसर एस 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 पाटिल सर, असिस्टेंट डायरेक्टर प्रोफेसर अब्दुल राफी सर, गौरव सर तथा आज के रिसोर्स पर्सन ऑनरेबल प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर रामराव जनार्दन राव चवन सर तथा इस प्रोग्राम में जुड़े हुए मेरे सभी साथियों, मैं आप सभी का अपने शब्द सुमनों से हार्दिक हार्दिक स्वागत करती हूँ, अभिनंदन
क्यों?
करती हूँ। मैं डॉक्टर सुभद्रा कुमारी सिन्हा, असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर हिंदी फ्रॉम बिहार। हेयर माय रोल नंबर इज 23। आदरणीय सर का परिचय कराने का मुझे अवसर मिला, ये मेरे लिए अत्यंत प्रसन्नता की बात है। सर, वर्तमान में आप बाबा साहब आम्बेडकर मराठवाड़ा यूनिवर्सिटी डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ जूलॉजी में प्रोफेसर हैं। इसी यूनिवर्सिटी के ग्रामीण समस्या संशोधन केंद्र के डायरेक्टर भी हैं। मॉडल कॉलेज घनश्यामगी के प्रिंसिपल भी रह चुके हैं। सर का एरिया ऑफ स्पेशलाइजेशन एंटोमोलॉजी है। टीचिंग एक्सपीरियंस 31 ईयर्स है। 25 ईयर्स का रिसर्च एक्सपीरियंस है। 81 पेपर पब्लिश्ड विभिन्न जर्नल्स में उनका हो चुका है। सर के निर्देशन में 11 छात्रों का पीएचडी हो चुका है तथा 5 अभी कार्यरत हैं। सर, आप 71 कॉन्फ्रेंस एंड सेमिनार में भाग ले चुके हैं। यूजीसी की तरफ से आपको रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट भी मिला है। सर को विभिन्न तरह के फेलोशिप, ऑनर्स, अवार्ड से नवाजा जा चुका है, जैसे शिक्षक प्रतिभा पुरस्कार फॉर द ईयर 2011 एंड 12, फेलोशिप ऑफ इंडियन एसोसिएशन ऑफ एक्वेटिक बायोलॉजिस्ट, फेलोशिप ऑफ सोसाइटी ऑफ लाइफ साइंस, lit गया by रामकृष्ण पाटिल बेस्ट टीचर ऑफ द ईयर 2006 एंड 7 अवार्ड। सर बहुत सारे संस्थानों के प्रोफेशनल मेंबरशिप भी रह चुके हैं, जैसे लाइफ मेंबर ऑफ इंडियन साइंस कांग्रेस एसोसिएशन कोलकाता, लाइफ मेंबर ऑफ नेशनल एसोसिएशन ऑफ इन्वायरमेंटलिस्ट रांची झारखंड, लाइफ मेंबर ऑफ इंडियन एसोसिएशन ऑफ एक्वाटिक बायोलॉजिस्टिक हैदराबाद, लाइफ मेंबर ऑफ मराठवाड़ा साहित्य परिषद औरंगाबाद। एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव एक्सपीरियंस भी सर को बहुत है, जैसे कि वे डायरेक्टर, फॉर्मर सीनेट मेंबर, फॉर्मर प्रोग्राम कोऑर्डिनेटर, फॉर्मर डायरेक्टर, फॉर्मर प्रोग्राम ऑफिसर यूनिवर्सिटी में रह चुके हैं। इसके अलावा और भी बहुत कुछ। 58 प्रतिष्ठित संस्थानों से सर को व्याख्यान देने के लिए आमंत्रित किया गया है। विभिन्न यूनिवर्सिटी में वे विभिन्न कमिटी के सदस्य रह चुके हैं। इतना ही नहीं, इन सब के अलावा भी आपका विभिन्न क्षेत्रों में इंटरेस्ट है, जैसे काउंसलिंग स्टूडेंट फॉर पर्सनैलिटी डेवलपमेंट, एथिक्स एंड वैल्यूज फॉर न्यू एज, research extension activities for farmer, laboratory to farm, research activities for conservation of environment, and so many more. सर का बायोडाटा मैं बहुत संक्षिप्त में रखी हूँ। सर मैं सभी पार्टिसिपेंट की तरफ से आपका हार्दिक हार्दिक स्वागत करती हूँ। सर हम आपको सुनने के लिए बहुत उत्सुक हैं, लालायित हैं। निश्चय ही हम सभी आपके वक्तव्य से बहुत लाभान्वित होंगे। सर बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आपका। धन्यवाद सर।
Thank you very much for good words regarding me. At the outset, I express my sincere thanks to the authorities of MMTC, that is Academic Staff College or HRDC, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, for giving me this opportunity to interact with the teachers which are hailing from different parts of the country and which are belonging to different faculties. Particularly Dr. Professor Satish Patil sir, who is director of MMTC, Dr. Mohammad Rafe, who is assistant director of MMTC, and fellow participants. Once again, I express my sincere thanks, and I request all the participants to be with me for next 2.5 hours. There was certain little technical problem due to which we are running late, but now we'll start and we'll try to conclude what I want to express regarding the insect. So today I want to discuss with the participants regarding one of the very important group of animals and which is very common to all of you, that is insects. Insects are very common animals. They are occurring all over the habitat and occurring around us, and sometimes we feel good regarding insects and sometimes we'll feel bad, or they create some sort of nuisance to our day-to-day life. So we'll try to understand what are these insects. So during these two sessions, I will try to introduce these insects. I will try to create your attention towards the insect biodiversity methods of insect collection, and I will try to focus a light on why insects are so successful and what are their survival strategies. So when we are talking about insects, you can see that if some of you may be from zoology and some of you might have studied insect, and if not studied, you should know that insects are a very dominating group of animals which are representing more than 80% of animal world, and they are representing near about 58% of all living organisms. So insects are more than 58% living organisms, and they are representing more than 80% animals. So we can say that this is one of the dominating life form which is existing on the earth, and there are more than 1 million described species of insects. Actually, there are large number of insect species yet which are to be discovered, but up till now, the most described species, most species of animals which are known to man are the insects, and there are more than 1 million species. Then question arises, why these insects are so successful, why they are so dominant, why they are occurring in so astronomically large number. Here is a plate which shows the number of insect species as compared with the other living forms. So you can see that this is the only group of living organisms, not only animals. I am saying that the living organisms which is occupying near about 80% part of living organisms. So this is one of the very dominant and most successful group of animals. So these insects no doubt belong to kingdom Animalia, and this kingdom Animalia is divided into number of phyla, among which one of the very dominating phylum is phylum Arthropoda, and this phylum Arthropoda is having the one class, that is class Insecta, along with the other animals which are having certain characteristic features. These insects appeared on the land for more than 400 million years ago, and they are one of the dominating group of animals. So they belong to kingdom Animalia, phylum Arthropoda, and all insects are grouped into class Insecta. So the animals which are belonging to phylum Arthropoda are characterized, or we can identify these arthropods by certain distinguishing characters. That is, they are having jointed appendages. So their appendages are jointed, they are bendable. Such animals are called as arthropods. Arthros means jointed, podas means legs. Animals which are having jointed legs, they are all such animals are included in arthropoda. And second important feature of the arthropod is that they are having segmented body, and their segmented body is covered by chitinous exoskeleton. Their protective covering is seen on the body, and that is the chitinous cuticle, and this chitinous cuticle is acting as the exoskeleton, and it is protecting the animal. Similarly, it is preventing the growth. So it is not possible for these animals or arthropods to grow until this chitinous cuticle is removed, and that process of removal of chitin or cuticle is called as molting. So they can grow up to after molting only, and thus such characters are seen in the animals of arthropoda. And in addition to insects, this phylum Arthropoda is having very common animals like spiders, ticks, mites, scorpion, millipedes, and crustaceans. These are the other arthropods than the insects. So, what are peculiarities of insects? Again, which separate these remaining animals in the arthropod group. And these peculiarities, which we should know, common people should know, so that they can identify or they can recognize that these are the arthropods and these are the insects. That includes the insects are having their body, segmented body, which is divided into three regions or three tagmata, three parts. And these three parts are head, thorax, and abdomen. So this is again very important feature of the insects, that is their body is divided into head, thorax, and abdomen. On head, they are carrying one pair of sensory organ, which is called as antenna. This is again very important feature of insects. Next important feature of insect is that these animals are having three pairs of legs, three pairs of legs, which are present on their middle region, that is thorax. And another important, very important feature of the insect is that they are having wings. And these are the only animals which are having ability to fly after the birds. So insects are the invertebrates which are having capacity to fly because they are having either one or two pairs of wings. So presence of wings presence of 3 pairs of legs, presence of 1 pair of antennae, and body divided into head, thorax, and abdomen. These are the distinguishing characters of the insects, which are included in class Insecta of the phylum Arthropoda. This might be somewhat difficult for non-zoology people, but please bear with me, because until you should know, you are not knowing these characters, you cannot recognize the insects. And as these animals are very dominant, where they are easily available around us, they are always seen around us, we should able to recognize that as these are the insects. So anteriormost part of the body is called as head. It is having 1 pair of antennae, 1 pair of compound eye, mouth parts in the form of mandibles, maxillae, labium, labrum, etc. Then it is followed by this middle part, which is called as thorax, and it is 3 segmented in the form of prothorax, thorax, mesothorax, and metathorax. Pronotum, mesonotum, and metanotum. These are the 3 segments of the body of insects, particularly in the thoracic region. And this thorax, as you can see, it is having 3 pairs of legs, 1, 2, and 3 pairs of legs, and 2 pairs of wings. This is the abdomen, which is posteriormost region. Hello. This is the posteriormost region of the body of insect, which is called as abdomen. It is near about 10 to 11 segmented, and it is called as visceral region, because it is carrying, or all visceral systems of the insect are located inside the thoracic, abdominal region. The thoracic region is called as locomotory region, because it is carrying locomotory organs, and head region is called as sensory region, because it is carrying sense organs. So head is sensory region, thorax is locomotory region, and abdomen is the visceral region. Oh, sorry. Yes. So this is the total structure of the body of insect. Now, I have told you that the head is called as sensory region, and it is carrying one of the very important sense organs in the form of pair of antennae, which is made of 3 parts, such as scape, pedicel, and flagellum. And this antennae, or this antenna, is very important sense organs. It is responsible to keep communication with the surrounding medium, and it is collecting various types of sensation. It is tactile in function. It is sensitive to humidity. It is sensitive to chemical cues. So it is collecting number of sensations from the surrounding medium, and keeping or helping insect to keep communication with the surrounding medium. As insecta is a diverse group of animal, it is having diverse type of antenna. Diverse type of antennae are present in these insects. Depending upon their structure, there are various types of antennae, such as cetaceous, which are found in dragonfly; filiform, which are found in beetles and cockroaches; moniliform, which are found in, again, different types of beetles. So all these are various types of antennae which are seen in insect population. Then another important organ which is present on the thorax in case of insect body is the 3 pairs of legs. These 3 pairs of legs, as I have told you, that they are present on the, or they are located on the, they are articulated on the thoracic region. 1 pair in each segment: prothorax, mesothorax, and metathorax. These are the 3 segments of the thorax. Each segment is having 1 pair of leg, and each leg is divided into different joints. I already told that these insects are arthropods. They are having jointed appendages, jointed legs, and these joints on the legs includes the coxa, the trochanter, then femur, tibia, and tarsus. This is the tarsus. The first segment of the tarsus is actually called as pretarsus, and the tarsomers. And at the end, it is having claw-like structure, which is helping for walking on the substratum. So this is the structure of leg. The insect leg are modified into different structures depending upon habit and habitat of the insects, depending upon their structure and depending upon the function performed by these insects. These legs may be cursorial, which are either used for walking or running, cursorial type of legs. These are cursorial type of legs. These are used for walking or and running. These are saltatorial type of legs, which are used for jumping, which are found in grasshopper. Hind leg of grasshopper is used for jumping, and such jumping legs are called as saltatorial type of legs. The legs, forelegs, which are found in crickets and mole crickets, they are used for digging in the soil, and they are called as fossorial type of legs. Natatorial type of legs are present in aquatic insects, which are working like the oar to propel the water on the backward side and for swimming in the water. Such legs used for swimming are called as natatorial type of legs. Legs which are present in predatory insect are called as raptorial type of legs. For example, praying mantis. Praying mantis is having the foreleg, which are called as raptorial, which are used to catch the prey or grasp the prey. So insect use the legs used for grasping the prey are called as raptorial type of legs. The legs in case of honeybees are called as the pollen basket, because they are covered by the dense hairs, which help them to carry pollen from one flower to another flower, and thus they are helping for the process of pollination. Thus, insect legs are modified in different insects for different purposes. Similar to legs, they are also having the one or two pairs of wings. Generally, majority of the insects are having wings. Generally, majority of them are having two pairs of legs, one in mesothorax and another in metathorax. But some of the legs are some of the insects are having only one pair of wing. For example, dipterans, they are having only one pair of wing. Some of the insects which are present around you, they are looking wingless. For example, ants, actually they are winged insects, but they are secondarily wingless insects. And some are primarily wingless insects, which are called as pterygotes. So pterygotes are primarily wingless insects, and all other insects are having wings, either one pair or two pairs of wings. These wings are also having different structures and different modifications. For example, wings in case of butterflies and moths, which are having very colorful patterns, due to which they are looking very nice. And such colorful pattern is mainly due to the presence of the scales on these wings. This is mainly due to the presence of scales on these wings. So such scaly wings are imparting color to these wings, and due to which these insects are looking very nice. So such wings are called as the scaly wings. Another modification is seen in case of diptera, in which the hand wing, as you can see, the hand wings are modified into a knob-like structure. These knob-like structures are called as the halters, and these halters are mainly used as balancing organ, and helps them for fast fly and avoid the catching. So in dipterans, the hand wings are modified into halters, whereas in coleopterans, which are generally called as beetles, here the forewings are modified into very hard, highly sclerotized protective structures, and these hard protective forewings in case of coleopterans are called as elytra. These elytra meet in the center line, and they are mainly performing the function of protection of underlying membranous hindwing and underlying organs. So elytra are mainly protective in function. Then we will discuss in brief about the life cycle of insects or biology of the insects. These insects are showing indirect development. So development is the process in which the zygote is converted into adult. When this developmental process is having intermediate form, then that type of development is called as indirect development. In insects, they are showing indirect development, and they are showing the intermediate form in the form of larva or the nymph. So this intermediate form, that is larva or mute, undergoes the process of metamorphosis, and that intermediate form or underdeveloped immature form is converted into adult by the process of metamorphosis, and this is some sort of adaptation which helps to reduce the competition between adults and immature, because immature are feeding upon some another type of food material, adults are feeding upon some other type of food material. In this way, they are helping for reducing the competition between the same species. And thus these intermediate forms are undergoing metamorphosis. Now, metamorphosis in case of insect is mainly of three types, such as some insects are ametabolous, some are showing incomplete metamorphosis, and some other are showing complete metamorphosis. So here this slide is showing you the process of incomplete metamorphosis, in which the life cycle is completed in three stages. Life cycle is completed in three stages, and these are called as hemimetabolous insects. These are called as hemimetabolous insects, which are showing gradual metamorphosis or incomplete metamorphosis, in which life is completed in three forms, such as egg, intermediate form nymph, and the adult form, which are able to undergo the process of reproduction or fertilization. Here you can see that the nymph are looking somewhat similar to the adult, but they are differing in the absence of wings and the absence of gonads. So in majority of the hemimetabolous insect, the nymphs are miniatures of adults, but it is not common thing. In some cases, nymphs may be different than the adults, but in majority of the cases, nymphs are miniature of the adults, and thus life cycle is completed in young, nymph, and adult. And such incomplete metamorphosis is seen in insect orders like Sapnoptera, Isoptera, which includes the termites, the Orthoptera, which includes grasshoppers and crickets, Hemiptera, which includes bugs, and Homoptera, which includes cicadas and hoppers. So the hemimetabolous insects are insects showing incomplete metamorphosis, are thus showing their life cycle, which is completed in three stages. The holometabolous insects, or which are showing complete metamorphosis, shows four stages in their life cycle. Four stages. Their life cycle is completed in four stages: egg, larva, pupa, and adult. Here, the larva and pupa are not looking similar to the adult. They are looking different from each other, and they are also feeding upon different food material. Pupa is non-feeding stage. So here in holometabolous insect, the life cycle is thus completed in four stages, and such type of metamorphosis or conversion of intermediate into adult form is seen in case of Coleoptera, which include beetles, Hymenoptera, which includes bees, wasps, ants, Diptera, which includes different flies, and Lepidoptera, which includes butterflies and moths. So these group of insect, that is orders, are showing complete metamorphosis. Hence, they are called as holometabolous insect. As I have told, there are pterygotes or pterygote insects which are wingless. These wingless insects are not showing metamorphosis. Hence, they are called as ametabolous or amorphic insects. These are not showing true metamorphosis. Just they are growing in their size by the process of molting, removal of their cuticle, and they are increasing in size and attaining the sexual maturity. Such process of development is called as ametabolous metamorphosis or amorphic metamorphosis, which is seen in the pterygotes. Now we'll have a overview on the insect biodiversity. As I already told you that the class Insecta or group Insecta is a very dominating group, and existing knowledge of insect biodiversity is very poor. Actually, no one knows how many insects are occurring on Earth. There are widely divergent estimates regarding the number of species of insects. Some says that there are more than 30 million species. We are knowing, our human is just knowing 1 million. But according to Irwin, 1982, he postulates, or they postulates, that there are more than 30 million species. Some says that there are 12.5 million species. Some says that there are 5 to 15 million species of insects. But up till now, only 1 million species have been discovered, and hence there is consensus about there are more than 1 million species of living insects and about 12,000 species of fossil insects. This enormous number is still waiting to be discovered, described, and naming. So there is huge scope for identifying these insects, and many insects, there is possibility of extinction of many insects before their discovery. So more number of scientists in the field of animal insect taxonomy are needed to be working. 33 number, please mute. 33 number. So this is the plate which is showing the diversity of insects, again in animal and different living organisms. So here this pie chart again shows how insects are dominant in number of species. They are not dominant in number of species. They are also dominant number of individuals. Number of individuals are also more when we are talking about the insects. So this is again the plate showing the biodiversity within the group of insects. Sorry. Here you can see the different orders of the insect, and you can find here that order Coleoptera is dominating order among the class Insecta, followed by the Lepidoptera, which is 16%, then Hymenoptera 13%, 12% Diptera, and different hemimetabolous insects, which are very less in number, prominent among which is the Hemiptera, which is occurring, which is contributing near about 11% of the insects. So among the insect, the order Coleoptera, order Lepidoptera, order Hymenoptera, and order Diptera are dominating insects orders. So I already told you that these insects are classified basically depending upon the presence and absence of wing, their process of metamorphosis, and some other important characters. Basically, the class Insecta is divided into two subclasses such as Apterygota or Aterygota and Terygota. Pterygotes are primarily wingless insects which are evolved from their wingless ancestors, whereas pterygotes are winged insects. They are having either one or two pairs of wings. Some may be wingless, but that condition is secondary wingless conditions. So pterygotes are wingless insects, pterygotes are winged insects. In case of pterygotes, as just we have seen, they are showing they are not showing metamorphosis. Metamorphosis is absent, or it is if there is metamorphosis, then it is little metamorphosis. In case of pterygotes, they are showing distinct metamorphosis. In case of pterygotes, their mandibles are attached to the head. Their mandibles, that is mouth parts, mandibles used for mastication of food material. These mandibles are articulated to the head region with the single condyle. Hence, that type of articulation is called as monocondylic articulation. Whereas in pterygotes, each mandible is articulated to the head by two condyles, that is double condyles. Hence, that articulation is called as dicondylic articulation. And in case of pterygotes, there is only one intermediate form which is called as nymph, whereas in case of pterygotes there are two intermediate forms such as the larva and pupa. Similarly, these pterygotes are having appendages on abdomen anterior to the genital aperture, which are called as pregenital abdominal appendages. Such pregenital abdominal appendages are not seen in pterygotes. So by these characteristic features, we can differentiate between pterygotes and pterygotes, or winged and wingless insects. So this is the slide showing 4 insect orders which are belonging to Pterygota. 4 insect orders which are belonging to Pterygota, such as Thysanura, commonly which are called as silverfish, Collembola, which are called as springtails, Protura, which are called as proturans, and Dipleura, which are called as japygids or dipleurans. So these 4 orders are belonging to subclass Pterygota, which are primarily wingless insects. Now the second class, that is Pterygota or winged insects. The class of winged insects is further divided into two divisions, and these 2 divisions are Exopterygota and Endopterygota. In Exopterygot, all of these are winged insects. They are having distinct wings. But in Exopterygot, the wing development is external in the form of wing pads. In Endopterygots, wing development is within the body of embryo, and it is started in the form of wing buds. So in Exopterygots, the wing development is external in the form of wing pads, and in Endopterygots, wing development is internal in the form of wing buds. Here, Exopterygots, which are also called as hemimetabolous insect, they are showing incomplete or gradual metamorphosis. In case of endopterygotes, which are called as holometabolous insect, they are showing complete metamorphosis. Pupa is absent. Pupal stage in the developmental process is absent in exopterygotes. It is present in endopterygotes. The immature stage in case of exopterygotes is called as nymph, whereas in endopterygotes, the immature form is called as larva. So larva and pupa are the immature stages in case of endopterygota, whereas in exopterygota, the immature stage or intermediate form is called as nymph. In some of the exopterygot, when nymph is aquatic, then it is called as naiad. So nymph and naiad are the immature form in case of exopterygotes, and larva and pupa are the immature forms in case of endopterygotes. The exopterygota is having near about further 16 insect orders, whereas endopterygota are having 9 insect orders. These are different insect orders of exopterygota group, that is, which are showing incomplete metamorphosis, which are further grouped into 3 groups: Paleopteran group, Orthopteroid group, and Hemipteroid group. This is mainly depending upon their body characteristic, particularly the first group, that is Paleopteran insect order, that is Ephemeroptera and Odonata, which are commonly known in the form of dragonflies. Odonata are commonly a very common insect order. All of you might have seen these dragonflies and damselflies flying on the stagnant water body. These are having the characters in their wings which were occurring in the insects of Paleozoic era. Hence, they are called as Paleopteran insects, or sometimes they are also called as the living fossils, because they are existing on Earth from the Paleozoic era. Most we can say that the older insects on the Earth. So these are Paleopteran insect order. Orthopteroid insect orders from Plecoptera to Zoraptera are characterized by orthopteroid mouth parts, that is biting and chewing type of mouth parts, or mandibulate type of mouth parts, which are used for feeding on solid food substances. So all such insect orders are included in orthopteroid group of the exopterygota, and hemipteroid group of insects or hemipteroid group of exoptera includes all those insects which are having haustellate or piercing and sucking type of mouth parts, haustellate or piercing and sucking type of mouth parts. So all these orders, that is belonging to Exopterygota, are thus grouped into three groups. The orders which are belonging to Endopterygota are 9, and they are most advanced. We can say that insect orders, which prominent among which includes the Lepidoptera, which are having butterflies and moths, Diptera, which are having true flies, housefly, mosquitoes, so on and so forth, and Coleoptera, which are commonly known in the form of beetles and weevils. Hymenoptera, which is again very common insect order known for bees, wasps, and ants. So all these are the endopterygote orders, which are near about 9, and they are showing complete metamorphosis. Hence, they are also called as holometabolous insects. Now we will discuss about some of the important features of some of the important insect orders, such as the first and most dominant insect order in whole animal kingdom, not only in insect, not only in arthropoda, but in whole animal kingdom, is order Coleoptera. Order Coleoptera, which contributes near about 38% of the insects, and they are commonly called as beetles and weevils. Beetles and weevils are differentiated by their the anterior projection of the mouth, rostrum, snout. So such snout is not seen in case of beetles. So beetles and weevils are the common name of the insect belonging to order Coleoptera. They are characterized by a very tough and hard exoskeleton in the form of elytra. Forewings are in the form of elytra, and flight mechanism is mainly with the help of hand wings, which are membranous. And their larval form is known as grub, white grub. White grub is very common in infection in case of the plants of family Gramineae. So this is regarding the Coleoptera, which are known by their common name, that is beetles and weevils, and larval forms are called as grubs. So this is cucumber beetle, this is ladybug beetle, and this is rhinoceros beetles. These are very common insects which are occurring around all of us. Next important order is order Lepidoptera, the insects with beautiful color pattern. And I already told you that their color pattern is mainly due to the presence of colorful scales on their wings. Their wings are colorful because on their wings there are colorful scales which are having very colorful patterns. And this order Lepidoptera is known for these butterflies and moths, colorful butterflies and moths, which contribute more than 60% insects. They are they are feeding upon the nectar which is present at the base of the flower, and for that they are having the siphoning type of mouth parts which can be extended up to the bottom of the flower to suck the nectar, and they are having powdery scales on their wing, due to which they are having colorful patterns. The how we can differentiate between the moths and butterflies? Butterflies are generally diurnal, whereas moths are nocturnal. So lepidopterans, which are generally occurring during daytime, are butterflies, and butterflies which are generally occurring at night time, they are the moths. Now this is very important insect order because many of them are acting as pollinators, and on the other hand, many of them are acting as a pests of different agricultural crops. So this Lepidoptera insect order is very significant in both beneficial and harmful way. Next, again, very important insect order is order Hymenoptera, which contributes about 13% of the insects. And common name for Hymenoptera is the bees, ants, wasps, Zygocopa, etc. They are characterized by narrow waist. The thorax and first segment of the abdomen are modified into the structure, modified into narrow waist-like structure, and they are having curved abdomen. They are having curved abdomen, and many of them are able to sting because they are having sting at their end of the abdomen. So this insect, group of insect, that is Hymenoptera, is also very significant because many of them are acting as the pollinators and responsible for pollination of different angiosperms. So without Hymenoptera, there will be no production of food because these hymenopterans, that is particularly bees and wasps, are very essential for the process of pollination. Similarly, many of them are acting as parasites and parasitoids. Many of the hymenopterans are acting as parasites and parasitoids of the crop pests. So they are used for biological control of pests, insect pests of the agricultural crops. So this is again very significant group of insects. Carpenter bee, red ant, yellow jacket, etc. Next, important order of the class insecta is order Diptera. Di means two, ptera means wings. Insects having two wings, one pair of wings, and which contributes about 12% of the insect. And commonly known Diptera are flies, house fly, hover fly, green bottle fly, and the different types of mosquitoes. So only one pair of functional wing is present. Another hand wing is modified into halters. Similarly, their body is characterized by covered by hairs. Now, this is again very important insect order because it is creating somewhat a very nuisance to the human and domestic animal population because many of them are acting as the vectors. Vectors are the animals which are responsible for transmitting different diseases in human population as well as in domestic animals. So many of the dipterans are responsible for spreading diseases in human population. Thus, they are acting as a vectors. Similarly, again, one thing I should tell you, this is there is a diagram of the fruit fly, which is also called as Drosophila, and this Drosophila and another insect again belonging to order Diptera is the chironomids. These chironomids and the fruit fly, that is Drosophila, are the dipteran insects which are very important tool in the research of genetics and cytology or cell biology. The study of chromosomes, various experiments on chromosomes and various experiments on in genetics are carried out on Drosophila and the chironomids. So they are the tools, very important tools in the research of cytogenetics. This is again very important group of insect which is commonly called as bugs. But common men always call all insects as a bug, but all insects are not bugs. Every bug is an insect, but not all insects are bugs. True bugs belong to order Hemiptera. So next order is Hemiptera, and the insects of order Hemiptera or individuals of order Hemiptera are called as bugs, and they are characterized by the posterior thorax, which is triangular, and it is called as scutellum. So presence of scutellum, triangular scutellum, is again very important characteristic feature of order Hemiptera. So all these are the bugs. All these are the bugs. This is Asian bug. This is giant water bug. Here you can see that legs are natatorial type of legs, which are used for propelling water in the water and to swim inside the water. Here also natatorial type of bugs. So all these are the bugs. These are leaf hoppers, and this is water boatman type of bug, aquatic bed. So this is another important order which is called as order Ephemeroptera, and commonly they are called as mayflies. Commonly they are called as mayflies, and their their immature forms or juveniles are called as naiads. The nymphs of Ephemeroptera and Odonata are called as naiads because they are aquatic. So adults are found near water, but they are terrestrial, and the immature forms are present inside the water. These are soft-bodied insect with two distinct anal cerci. So they are characterized by elongated anal cerci. This is another important insect order, which is called as Dermaptera, and the common name for Dermaptera here is earwing, due to their abdominal projections or outgrowths. They look like the earwigs, which are used to wear by the ladies. So they are having forceps or forceps-like projection stings on their posterior abdominal segment, and these are short and hard. They are having short and hard forewings, and large are there. They are having mandibular type of mouth parts, which are used for feeding on solid food substances. This is another important insect order, which is called as order Orthoptera. Order Orthoptera is again very important insect order. The common names for the insects of Orthoptera are grasshoppers, locusts, cricket, katydids, etc. These are again very common insects which are occurring around us. They are characterized by a very long body, and the hand legs are saltatorial type, which are used for jumping. So hand legs are elongated, stout, and they are used for jumping. And they are characterized by elongated ovipositor. Egg-laying apparatus in case of females is called as ovipositor, and this ovipositor is elongated. Again, one of the important feature of Orthoptera is that they are having sound producing and sound receiving organs. Stradulatory organs are sound producing organs, and auditory organs or tympanum are the sound receiving organs. So production of sound or creeping sound is one of the important feature of Orthoptera. They may be in the form of grasshoppers, they may be in the form of crickets, but they are able to produce this sound. Or katydids are also producing cicadas. Cicadas are the homopterans, but they are also able to produce sounds similar to cicadas. These Orthoptera are also able to produce sounds. These are the lace wings, which are included in order Neuroptera. These are very small, delicate insects, which are characterized by very long antennae, and their significance is that they generally feed on nectar, but some of them are predator on pest insects, so they can be used for biological control. This is again another very important insect order, Thysanoptera. The common name is thrips, and thrips are very harmful pests of the agricultural crops. They are characterized by fringed wings, and they are having piercing and sucking type of mouth parts, and they suck cell sap or plant sap from the plant parts, and creating the harm to the different agricultural crops. So thrips are also very important agricultural pest, and these thrips belong to order Thysanoptera. Next insect order is order Isoptera. Isoptera, the very common insect order. All of us have experienced these insects in our home itself. They are the pests of wooden furniture. They are feeding upon cellulose, and for that they feed upon wooden furniture, books, and sometimes also on clothes. So these are the pests of the domestic appliances, and uh, they are characterized by their social life. These are eusocial insects. They are having various forms. They are having some workers, some soldiers, king and queen in their colony. They are forming colony. They are social insects. They are forming colony, and inside their colony they are having queen, king, soldier, and workers. So these are the pest of wooden material or cellulose material, and they are included in order Isoptera, and commonly they are called as large white ant or termites. This is another important order of the insect of which are called as scorpion flies, and these scorpion flies are included in order Mycoptera, and they are looking somewhat like the abdomen is looking somewhat like the scorpion. Hence, they are called as scorpion flies because their abdomen is bended on the back and it look like the scorpion. Hence, they are called as scorpion flies, and order is Mycoptera, and they are characterized by elongated antenna. So, this is again very important order which is acting as a pest of agricultural crops. That is order Homoptera. They are having piercing and sucking type of mouth parts, with the help of which they are sucking, they are feeding upon the cell sap or plant sap and causing huge damage to the agricultural crops. They are characterized by the rope-like wings which are holded on their abdomen. Abdomen is covered by the roof of wings, and both the wings are similar, hence they are called as Homoptera. And they are having again piercing and sucking type of mouth parts, and these are also able to produce sound. The cicadas particularly, cicadas are able to produce sound, and the aphids are phytophagous pest, polyphagous phytophagous pest that is feeding upon a variety of crops and causing huge damage to the vegetables, fruits, cash crop like cotton, and so on and so forth. So homopterans are also very important agricultural pest. This is another important order Odonata, which is commonly called as the insect of Ordonata, are commonly called as dragonflies and damselflies. Here are two pictures. One is of dragonfly and another is of damselfly. So dragonfly are having dissimilar pair of wings. Anterior and posterior wing pairs are different in shape and size. But the damselflies are having similar sized wing. They are kept perpendicular to the main axis, whereas they are kept horizontally or inclined when both these are at rest. Another important character by which we can differentiate between dragonfly and damselfly is that they are having some large sized elongated abdomen, whereas abdomen of the damselfly is slender, elongated but slender, narrow abdomen. It is not narrow. This is somewhat robust type of abdomen. That by this characters we can differentiate between the dragonfly. This is dragonfly and this is damselfly. Eyes are large and the eyes of two sides are touching each other. But here in damselflies, the eyes are button shaped, and both the damselfly and dragonflies are having 360-degree vision, and these are very fast flyers. They are having very efficient flight mechanism, and they are generally found around the stagnant water bodies. So this is again very important insect order, which constitute or which includes the dragonflies and damselflies. These are acting as the predators. These are acting as the predators. They are both adult and the intermediate form, which are called as naiads, which are aquatic. They are carnivorous in nature, predators and carnivorous. Adults are feeding upon flying insects like flies and mosquito, whereas the naiads are feeding upon the larval forms of the diptera or other insects which are present inside the water body, and thus they are very important for controlling the pest and vector insect population. So this is again very important insect order. Plecoptera, they are called as stone flies. These are also having the aquatic nymphs, and aerials are adult, and they are known for producing drumming sound, drum-like sound, producing drumming sound to find the mate. So stone flies are included in order Mecoptera. This is again very important insect order called Siphnoptera, which includes the fleas, common flea and rat flea. These are ectoparasites, and once upon time they are very known. The virus causing bubonic plague. So they are the vectors of plague virus. So they are having very short antenna and very important ectoparasite and commonly called as fleas, Hypnoptera. Malophaga are also ectoparasite. They are called as biting lice, and these are the ectoparasites of birds and mammals. So they are ectoparasite, external parasite feeding upon the blood of vertebrates. They also feed upon the dead skin, feathers, and fur. Order Anopleura is the order which includes the human louse. So human louse or sucking lice are included in order Anopleura, and they are also ectoparasite of mammals, particularly feeding upon the blood of human being, and responsible for spreading different diseases in human population. So these are also very important vectors. This is the order of Pterygota, Thysanura. The insects of Thysanura are called as silverfish. This is again very common below the wood at damp places inside the books. These are very common. So that insect is called as silverfish. This is again another Pterygote insect, which are commonly called as springtails, and order is called as Collembola. These Collembolans are also feeding upon decaying plant material, and thus they are playing very important role for decomposition of organic matters. So these are also a very important group of insects. So up till now, roll number, who is talking? Roll number 3. Roll number 3.
Yes, sir.
Who is talking?
Yes, sir. Wait.
Okay. So up till now, we have discussed about the diversity of insects, and we have seen that this is very diverse group of animals, which with huge number of species and huge number of individuals dominating the animal population, not only animal population, but population of living organisms. So insect group is dominant in whole living organism population. So question will be there, why these insects are so successful? Why they are occurring in so large number? Why their species are in astronomically large number? There are certain reasons due to which they have become so successful, and these reasons and these factors includes their high adaptability, their high adaptable exoskeleton. Their body is covered by cuticle. This cuticle is protecting these insects from different mechanical injuries. So one of the reason is the presence of exoskeleton. Then their legs are suited for locomotion on land and also adapted for swimming inside the water. So they can live on the land, also some of them can live inside the water. They are showing tracheal type of respiration in which air is directly carried into the body itself. In case of a human being, air is carried up to the lungs, and from lungs it is carried through the circulatory system through in the form of oxyhemoglobin. But in case of insect, they are having tracheal type of respiratory system. They are having network of air tubes called trachea, and through these trachea, air is directly carried to the body tissues, body cells. So this is one of the reason, and they are also able to respire or take oxygen from the water. So this is again one of the important reasons. Their body is covered by their the cuticle, and that cuticle, the outermost layer of the cuticle is of wax, So this wax covering is preventing loss of water from the body, preventing these insects from desiccation. These are some of the reasons which help for their dominance. Similarly, another some reasons are they are having very small sized body, so that they can easily escape from the enemies, and they can occupy a very small place. This is again one of the reason. Another important reason is that they are having high birth rate and short life cycle span, generation time. High birth rate and short generation time. This is again very important reason for their success. Why Drosophila is used in the research of cytology and genetics? Because we can study number of generations in short spell of time. This is the reason, because they are used in the research of cytology and genetics. So all insects are having very short life cycle, and their natality birth rate is very high. So little time to grow and to be mature. So which automatically increases the birth rate or natality, and increase the potential for genetic changes in population. They easily undergo the necessary changes in their body structure due to short lifespan. So these are also one of the reasons. In addition to this, I already told you that these are the only animals which are able to fly after the birds. Birds and mammals, except some of the birds and mammals, the insects are able to fly, and this is helping for escaping unfavorable habitats, unfavorable conditions, escaping from enemies, to find out the food material, to find out the mates for reproduction or fertilization, and to find out the proper place for deposition of eggs. So the highly efficient flight mechanism is also very important adaptation for their successful. In addition to this, it is found that these insects are having certain survival strategies, such as adaptation, similarly dormancy, migration, avoiding predation, and rate of reproduction. These are the certain survival strategies due to which they are able to survive in unfavorable conditions. So adaptation, physical adaptation, behavioral adaptations, their herbivorous feeding mechanism, nectar feeding mechanism. Some of them are scavengers which feed upon decaying organisms. Many of them are carnivorous and parasites. So here you can see that insects are having very diverse food adaptations. So this decreases the competition for food. These are different feeding mechanisms which are seen in insects. This is also scavengers and predators. Many of them are active hunters. They can feed upon the prey, active hunters. So they are having a very diverse feeding mechanism. They are also able to drink water whenever needed. Another important adaptation is they are able to make shelters. They are able to make shelter. Many of them produce cocoon, inside which their pupa can live in dormant condition until the favorable condition arises. They are able to create the nests. So all these shelter making behavior also helping these insects for survival in under unfavorable condition. We'll see another important insect in next session. So I am trying to conclude this. Dormancy is another adaptation due to which they remain in dormant condition when there is unfavorable condition. Summer dormancy and winter dormancy seen in case of these insects. Hibernation, estivation. So dormancy, and in addition to dormancy, they are also able to migrate from the place which is unfavorable for them to the place where there is favorable condition regarding the food, regarding the shelter, regarding the feeding mate. So migration is seen in case of these insects, and this also helps for in survival in under unfavorable condition. So there are various types of migrations are seen in case of insect population. I will talk about one type of migration which is seen in the Cystosarca gregaria, commonly called as locust. So locust attack on agricultural crop is mainly due to the migration of the grasshopper, which is called as Cystosarca gregaria, desert locust, which migrates from Arabian countries to India in search of food. So they are, what I'm going to tell you, that they are able to migrate from the place of unfavorable condition to the place of favorable condition. These are the strategies with the help of which they are able to survive under condition. Again, this is the monarch butterfly, which is able to migrate from one place to another place for the survival. These are again avoiding behaviors which are seen in insects for avoiding predation and defending the defending mechanism from the host. So mechanical defense, camouflage, filling, production of defensive chemicals, production of venom, and mimicry. All these are the avoiding behavior. So all these strategies help the insect for survive in unfavorable conditions. So this is mimicry. So this is about the diversity of insect, their classification, their morphology, and why these insects are so successful. And we can say that at the end, nowadays insects are also one of the major competitor of human being to exist on the Mother Earth. So please keep on watching and studying and understanding insects and nature. So I will stop this lecture and we will start next lecture after 5 minutes. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
We will meet after 5 minutes.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Hey, Raju. Raju. पाणी द्या, चहा असेल तर द्या. Hello, shall we start, friends?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, yes, sir.
So, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, we are here again for next session, which will be of 45 minutes. So
Okay, sir.
we'll conclude within 45 minutes, and it will regarding the ants. Again, very common insects. I hope each one of us has experienced ant for different activities. So when we think of ants, the automatic reaction is annoyance, hate, and pain. But the title of our talk is ants and their role in human welfare. But when human think about ants, the reaction is annoyance, hate, and pain or panic condition. So through this lecture, we will try to understand these ants are really they are harmful or useful. And we'll try to understand what are ants, why ants are cognizable, and what is ant biodiversity, and what is the role of ants in human welfare, and are ants these really super organism. So when these are some of the pictures which will be creating your attention or bring your attention to these ants. See these pictures very carefully. This is the colony of ants at the top of colony of the ants. This is again very famous picture of ants. It is actually taken from the net resources which are allowed to use. All these pictures are taken from net resources. This is again aquatic raft produced by the ants in flood condition. This is again a very interesting picture showing how ants behave and support each other in the tragic conditions. This is very common. You can observe everywhere such type of behavior of ants. This is again one of the picture of ant which is showing tender care for the aphids. So this is the very famous poem by very famous poet श्रीयुत हरिवंश राय बच्चन, जिसमें वो कहते हैं कि लहरों से डरकर नौका पार नहीं होती, लहरों से डरकर नौका पार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती. यहाँ से आगे एंड्स स्टार्ट होते हैं. नन्ही चींटी जब दाना लेकर चलती है, नन्ही चींटी जब दाना लेकर चलती है, चढ़ती दीवारों पर 100 बार फिसलती है. मन का विश्वास रगों में साहस भरता है, चढ़कर गिरना गिरकर चढ़ना न अखरता है. मेहनत उसकी बेकार हर बार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती. सो हमने तो मालूम नहीं देखा है कि एंट को सीरियसली, मगर हरिवंश राय बच्चन जी ने देखा है. एंड ही हैज इंस्पायर्ड फ्रॉम दैट बिहेवियर ऑफ एंट वेयर ही tries to overcome the unfavorable condition for so many times, and lastly it becomes successful. So these ants are no doubt the subject of motivation or inspiration for many intellectual peoples. So we will try to understand these ants. When we try to understand the life of ants, ants are the symbols and ants are showing certain meaning of their life. So what are showing ants? Ants are the symbols of organization and planning. You observe the ants walking in straight line. So they are very organized. They are very planned for performing specific function. So these ants are the symbols of organization and very well planning. They are the symbols of strength and energy. You can't see an ant standing at one place. You can see ants always working working for some purpose. So these ants are having very very good strength and very good energy in them. These ants are the symbols of patience and determination. They are having a lot of patience. We people, we human beings, so-called superorganisms, are not having patience. We immediately go in depression when the conditions are not suitable for us. But these ants, small creatures, very small creatures, are having very good patience, but they are so determined they will perform work. You cannot stop the ants. It will try to find out new place. When the obstacle is kept between their path, they will try to find out another path. So this is the good sign of determination. These ants are also having certain meaning in their life. Ant means hard work, ants means unity, ants means loyalty, ant means teamwork, ant means cooperation, ant means stamina, ant means community, ants means self-sacrifice for community, ants means follow the order, ants means group-minded, ants are having purpose in their life, and ants are the symbols of industrial behavior. So all these things we can see in ants when we observe these small creatures, and they produce a sort of philosophy. They keep before us some sort of philosophy which can inspire us, which can inspire a human being when we go in depression by small failures in life. So during summer they think of winter, because summer is a favorable time for these ants, and winter is unfavorable, particularly in the European countries. This philosophy is proposed in European countries. So during summer, that is during favorable condition, they think of winter, they think of unfavorable condition. And during favorable condition, they gather what they can do, what they can gather. They gather everything which is needed during unfavorable condition. They gather food, they prepare their shelters, they gather the things which are required to overcome the unfavorable condition. And when unfavorable condition, that is during when winter comes, when unfavorable condition comes, during winter, during unfavorable condition, they think summer, and they think that this unfavorable condition will go. They think that soon this unfavorable condition will go and favorable condition will come, summer will come, and hence don't quit ever. Try to overcome the unfavorable condition. So this is very good philosophy which can help human being like us to overcome the failures which come in our life and help to motivate us instead of calling or counseling with the counselor by paying huge money. The ants can ants can act as a very good counselor and can help us to overcome the failures in our life. So we'll try to understand these ants. So who rules the earth? We feel that human being rules the earth. We feel that human beings are superorganisms and we are dominating the earth. We are ruling the earth, but actually the ants are ruling the earth, because there are a lot of ants on the in the world, and they are dominating the human this mother earth. So it is estimated that there are around 1 million ants. Here don't think about species, here think of individuals. How many individuals of ant are there? There are more than 10 quadrillion ant individuals on the earth. 10 quadrillion, countless for human being. And it is estimated that there are 1 million, 10 lakh ant individuals for every one human being. For one human being, there are 1 million ants on the earth. So ants have monopolized this mother earth. There are 15 to 20% ants on the terrestrial biomass. When we are talking about number of individuals, when we are talking about biomass, biological mass in the terrestrial ecosystem, it is found that there there is 10 to 15 to 20% biomass is of ants. So, and in very favorable conditions like tropical rainforest, there is near about 25% biomass, which is mainly due to the ants. So ants are present in astronomically large number, and hence we can say that ants are dominant. Ants are ruling the earth. Ants are everywhere, but we don't notice it. We don't notice ant. We feel that it is very small, useless creature. But 1/3 of entire animal biomass of the Amazon rainforest is composed of ants. That is more than 30% biomass is of ants. And each hectare of soil contains more than 8 million ants. 8 million ants. 80 lakh the individuals of ants are present in each hectare of the soil in Amazon forest. So these are very amazing creatures. These are very amazing animals on the earth, and we should know these amazing facts about ant. It is found that in front of ants, human beings are babies. In front of ants, these human beings are babies on the planet Earth. Because scientists estimate that ants came about in mid Cretaceous period, which is thus it proves that ants are existing on Earth for 110 to 130 million years, and human being just before 40 to 50 million years. But these are existing on Earth for more than 2 million years. 2 million years. The human beings are existing on Earth for last 2 million years, but ants are existing on Earth for 110 to 130 million years. So in front of ants, these human beings are babies. Ants are as old as dinosaurs. Ants are as old as dinosaurs, and they are existing for more than 100 to 130 million years on the earth. In addition to this, we feel that human beings feel that we have conquered the whole globe. Now human beings are occurring on whole globe. They are present at Antarctica. They are present at both the polar regions. But similar to human beings, ants have also conquered the whole globe. Ants are very good travelers. They are found nearly everywhere on the earth, with the exception of Antarctica and Arctic region. Except these two regions, ants are occurring everywhere on the earth. And there is a very good example of the Argentine ant, Linapithema humai. This is the ant which is native of Argentina, that is the South American country, Argentina. This is the main native place of this Linapithema humai ant. Hence, it is called as Argentine ant. But nowadays, this Argentine ant is occurring on all these continents, all the 6 continents of the world. They are occurring in all 7 continents: Africa, America, Europe, Asia, Australia. In all continents, it is occurring. This proves that ants are good travelers. They can travel from one place to another place, and they can grow, they can multiply, they can live in all the environmental conditions. So this is similar to the human being. Similarly, ants are also good farmers. Farming is started by the human lady, and credit goes no doubt to human lady. But far before that, ants have started the agriculture, and their agriculture venture has started about 50 million years. 50 million years. before the appearance of human being itself. And it is found that they are yielding the crop. They are yielding the crop of the fungi, mold, which is used as a food during unfavorable condition. When they are not able to come outside their nest, they do agriculture for growing the mold, that is the specific fungi inside the nest itself, and feed upon that nest, or use feed upon that mold, use that fungus or mold as a food, and to increase its yield, to increase the yield of mold or fungi, they use chemicals, they use antibiotics, they use manure to increase the yield of this mold, which can be used as a fungi. So similar to human being, the ants are able to do farming. Similarly, similar to human being, ants are able to domesticate other animals or raise other animals, as human being raise cattle, goat, camel, donkey, pig, birds. In the same manner, ants are also able to raise other animals like aphids. The best example of domestication of animals is the example of aphid. Ants will protect these aphids from natural predators and give shelter to them in their nest, and protect these nests from heavy rain showers, and in turn they get the supply of the sweet substance which is called as honeydew. Honeydew. So honeydew is a sugary secretion. This sugary secretion is secreted by the aphids, and for getting that sugary secretion, these ants raise the aphids or domesticate the aphid inside their nest only. So similar to the human being, ants are able to domesticate and use these animals. Though they are looking very small, but it is found that they can carry more than 3 times weight than their own body weight. Sometimes they can carry 100 times weight than their own body weight. So this is very good example showing that they are having very good strength. They are having very powerful strength, with the help of which they can carry the heavy weight. So what are these ants? These ants are no doubt again arthropods belonging to class Insecta, subclass Pterygota, winged insects, and belonging to order Hymenoptera. I have just told you that, and all ants are included in family Formicidae. So all ants are present in family Formicidae of order Hymenoptera, class Insecta, and phylum Arthropoda. So this is regarding the ants, description of ants. Ants are having body which is divided into the head, trunk, and waist, and the gaster. So their body is divided into head, early trunk, waist, and gaster. Here, the first abdominal segment and the 2 segments of the thoracic region forms the narrow waist, which is important characteristics of Hymenoptera. So they are having very unique type of body and or other remaining characters. Their life cycle, no doubt, they are holometabolous insect. They are holometabolous insect showing complete metamorphosis. Male and female, or the male and queen female undergoes process of fertilization, producing eggs. These eggs, after hatching, develop into larva, larva into pupa, and pupa is non-feeding stage, and pupa is converted into adult. So they are holometabolous insect, and their mating is generally taking place in the air itself, which is called as nuptial flight. So mating is taking place above the land, above the ground, above 300 to 800 feet above the ground, particularly in the beginning of monsoon, when there are showers of monsoon and bright light. in such conditions, the male and female mate in the air itself, and mating in air itself is called as nuptial flight. And then female finds a proper place for development of the new colony, where it lays the egg, and egg undergoes further process of development and take near about 20 to 45 days to convert into adult mature form. Then these eggs are generally converted into worker ants and other forms. These ants are eusocial insects. Ants are eusocial insects. They are having caste system, but this development of caste of the next progeny is decided by worker and not by queen, because worker is responsible for feeding the young ones, and workers are always non-fertile forms, and queen and drone male are fertile forms. The feeding of special food and hormone secretion will convert one of the female into the queen. So next conversion of common fertile form into queen is decided by a worker of the last generation, and thus there are various forms: worker, queen, and drone, which are found in the nest of the ants. Ant nest is very unique. Ant nest is very unique, and it is the sign of elite creation of architect. Human are always proud of making very good and huge architect, such as Ellora, Ajanta, and again Statue of Unity. But you can see here ants producing or creating or developing nest which is air conditioned, keeping warm in cold condition, keeping cool in warm condition. So these are some sort of air condition, and though that ant nest is present in complete waterlogging place, but water cannot enter into the chambers where the eggs, where the food, where the workers and queen are living. So this is some sort of good architect ever seen or ever produced by the living creature. So ant nest is very good sign of architect, and such nests are produced by these ants. So when we are talking about ant biodiversity, you know very well that these ants are included in family Formicidae of order Hymenoptera of the class Insecta, and this family Formicidae is further divided into 21 subfamilies which comprises of 290 genera and near about 12,500 species. This is according to the Bolton 2006. So there are near about 12 to 13,000 species of insects, 14,000 species of insects which are occurring all over the world. And in India, we have 828 valid species belonging to 100 genera and 12 families. This is regarding the ant biodiversity in different regions of the world, which is as per the Holdobler and Wilson, according to which the maximum number of species are found in African subcontinent, sub-Sahara. That is the which is useful place for the ants, and ants are occurring all over the world. Now we'll talk about what is the role played by ants in human welfare. We don't know whether human being is playing any role for the welfare of ants, but ants always play a very important role in human welfare. There are a number of services which are provided by ants for human welfare, among which the regulating services includes number of ant species are there which are responsible for pollination of different plants. In addition to this, it is found that these ants are playing very key role in seed dispersal in particularly forest ecosystem. The ants are feeding upon the seeds of family Graminea, and for that they are carrying seeds from one place to another place, and upon remaining unfed, that seeds develop into the new plant. So seed dispersal is very important activity, which is helping for spreading the plant growth. Similarly, they are also helping for insect herbivore, and many plants are acting as a defense, preventing the herbivory by other insect or insect pests. Similarly, it is found that these ants are also providing number of cultural services. They are the subjects of art, spiritual, and education for human being. They are helping for in the field of art. They are helping in the field of art. They are also helping in the field of spirituality, and they are also the matters of education. In addition to these, the ants are also used as food by human being. Ants are also used as a food by human being, and in this way they are also playing provisional services. Again, one of the important service provided by ant is ants are acting as ecosystem engineer and protecting ecosystem in different ways. So all these are the services which are provided by ants to the human being and helping for human civilization. So these ants are acting as pollinators, very particularly conspicuous flowers. The flowers which are present close to stem for such flowers, these ants are playing an important role in the process of pollination. Thus, this is very important activity performed by ants in for pollination of different plants. And these the flowers are thus pollinated by these ants. Another important behavior, which is called as myrmecochory. Myrmecochory is the process of mechanism of seed dispersal. I have just told you that the ants are feeding upon one substance in the seed, particularly which is called as elaiosome. Elaiosome is a lipid-rich content of the seed, and these ants are feeding upon this elaiosome. For that, these ants are carrying a huge number of seeds into their colonies, and in this way they are helping for growing flowering plants around their colonies. When these seeds remain unfed, then these seeds are converted into new plants. In this way, they are helping for seed dispersal, and that process is called as myrmecochory. Similarly, ants are also used as food, particularly weaver and Ocophila species. Number of Ocophila species are used as a food in different parts of the world, particularly the in southeastern countries. These ants are used as popular food in Thailand, in Malaysia. So in these countries, ants are taken as a specific food to overcome the fatigue when there is a loss of energy. In such conditions, ants are used to overcome the fatigue or to overcome the sun's heat stroke. Similarly, it is found that some tonics are used. Tonics are prepared from these ants, or sometimes these ants are eaten as a roasted during the feeding of the feeding as a guest ones. So there are a number of ants which are also used in medicine. Number of ants are also used in medical purpose for different medical purposes. The ant species like Dorylus, ant species like Componatus, ant species like Oncophylla, Fridole, Polycorachis, and Mismecocystus. All these are the different ants which are used for different medical purposes, for treating wounds, for suturing the wounds, for overcome different arthritis. So these are the different species of ants which are used as a medicine to overcome different disorders in case of human being. In addition to this, the ants are playing very important role as an ecosystem engineer and playing for maintenance of different ecosystems, because these ecosystems, these ants are responsible for bioturbation, that is movement of soil particles, that is called as bioturbation. And this bioturbation helps for changing in the soil characteristic features, or for it also helps for aeration of the soil. So modification of habitat and cycling of material is done by the bioturbation, and this helps to change the physicochemical characteristics of the habitat, or it helps to make the soil more fertile. So these ants thus manage resources for other and enrich plant and animal biodiversity, and helps to maintain the stability of the environment. Thus, these ants are acting as the ecosystem engineers. Similarly, these ants are acting as a recyclers and helps for soil dynamics and modification of habitats. These are different photographs showing modification of soil, modification of habitat by the ant, due to which they help for the maintenance of ecosystem. And thus the below ground and above ground activities of ants, movement of soil particles, creation of nest, all these activities of the ants are helps for enhancing aeration and water filtration in the soil. Once aeration is made, the airs are filtering into the soil. That condition for soil is always good, and it also helps for infiltration of water, so that plant can grow properly in such conditions. Similarly, it also helps for increasing the soil community. It undergoes bioturbation. It also helps for nutrient enrichment, and thus helps as an ecosystem engineer. So this is about the role of ants for human welfare. So there is again request, keep watching these ants and try to understand and try to overcome the depression and anxiety in our life. Once again, I express my sincere thanks for director and assistant director of WebMTC for inviting me. I am also thankful to all the participants for cooperation and their patience listening. I am also thankful to Mr. Gaurav Zadav, Mr. Raju, and Mr. Amol Madan for providing technical support during this presentation. Thank you, one and all. Thanks. Hello.
जी, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank
It's
you.
time of vote of thanks.
Thank you.
आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर। एक्सक्यूज मी, आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर। सर आपने हमें एक अलग ही दुनिया, इंसेक्ट्स की दुनिया से परिचय करवाया है। सच में ये हम सब के लिए बहुत ही क्यूरियोसिटी का विषय है। वो कैसे सर्वाइव करते हैं, कैसे रिप्रोड्यूस करते हैं, कैसे सस्टेन करते हैं, इन सबको हम जान सके। सर आपने हमें ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ इंसेक्ट्स, इंसेक्ट्स बायोडाइवर्सिटी, इंसेक्ट्स क्लासिफिकेशन इत्यादि के बारे में बताया है। व्हाई इंसेक्ट्स आर सक्सेसफुल, इंसेक्ट्स के सर्वाइवल स्ट्रेटेजीज के बारे में हम लोग जान सके। सर ये जानकर बहुत ही आश्चर्य हुआ कि इंसेक्ट्स आर द डोमिनेंट एनिमल ऑन द अर्थ, तथा इंसेक्ट्स आर द मेजर कंपोनेंट ऑफ ह्यूमन बीइंग। सच सो इंटरेस्टिंग। जैसे कुछ इंसेक्ट्स मनुष्य के लिए यूजफुल होते हैं, कुछ हानिकारक होते हैं। इंसेक्ट्स के टैक्सोनॉमी, उनके वर्गीकरण के बारे में हम लोग जान सके सर। जैसे किंगडम ऑफ एनिमालिया, फाइलम एंथ्रोपोडा, क्लास इंसेक्टा के बारे में सर आपने हमें विस्तृत जानकारी दी। इस पृथ्वी के छोटे-छोटे जीव जो हमेशा ही हमारे लिए क्यूरियोसिटी का विषय रहा है, इसके बारे में सर हम जान सके। सर हम आपके बहुत आभारी हैं। और सर ब्रेक के बाद आपने हमें एंट्स के बारे में बताया कि व्हाई एंट्स आर कॉग्निजेबल, एंट्स बायोडायवर्सिटी के बारे में बताया, रोल ऑफ एंट्स के बारे में बताया है सर। उसके हार्ड वर्किंग को सर आपने एक बहुत ही प्रसिद्ध कविता के बारे में को लेकर के बताया है, जैसे कि नन्ही चींटी जब दाना लेकर चढ़ती है, चढ़ती दीवारों पर 100 बार फिसलती है। निश्चय ही सर ये हम सबके लिए प्रेरणादायक चींटी से लेना चाहिए, प्रेरणादायक है। इस पृथ्वी के छोटे-छोटे जीव जो हमेशा ही हमारे लिए क्यूरियोसिटी का विषय रहा है, हम सब इसको जान सके सर। आपका बहुत-बहुत आभार, बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद सर।
थैंक यू वेरी
इसके
मच।
अलावा इसके साथ-साथ मैं इस कार्यक्रम के असिस्टेंट डायरेक्टर प्रोफेसर राफी सर, सॉरी, एक्सक्यूज़ मी। हाँ, प्रोफेसर असिस्टेंट डायरेक्टर एस पाटिल सर, असिस्टेंट डायरेक्टर प्रोफेसर आफिस सर का भी धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगी, जिन्होंने मुझे ये सुनहरा अवसर प्रदान किया। साथ ही गौरव सर, अमोल सर तथा राजू सर को भी धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगी, जो प्रत्यक्ष और अप्रत्यक्ष रूप से इस कार्यक्रम में जुड़े रहे हैं, तथा सभी प्रतिभागी मित्रों का भी मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगी।